Hey everybody, it's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. It's drag race time, y'all. It is the Snatch Game of Love. You all know the Snatch Game is my favorite episode of Drag Race All Stars. I love to see what celebrities the queens are going to impersonate. I love to see if there's going to be any jokes. I love the Snatch Game. Let me pull this a little bit closer. Okay. I got all my cleavage out. I'm sorry. But anyway, I love the Snatch Game. This was a juicy episode. I'm going to tell y'all right now. I'm going to tell you right now, I got a lot to say. I got a lot to say. I even watched Untucked. I'm going to try to do this in 20 minutes, but if it's over 20 minutes, watch it, girl. Watch it to the end because it's good. And I might talk too much this time, but this was a good episode. This was a good episode. So let's start at the very beginning. I have a little bit of tea because I was watching some other people do their drag race reviews last week, and I heard that Morgan ate up Cracker so bad the first time they did that lip sync last week, the lip sync for Your Legacy, that Rue had them do it again. So what we saw on TV was the second taping that they had Morgan and Cracker do the lip sync again, and they asked Morgan to tone it down. Now, everybody's been saying it. It's been all over Twitter. It's been all over YouTube. Some of y'all might have heard it too. All I'm going to say is in the opening scene where everyone is congratulating Cracker and girl, I'm so happy you got the $20,000. I'm I'm side eyeing. I'm side eyeing. How was there a tie and you get the $20,000, but you had to do it again? And the assassin was told to calm it down. To me, at the end of the day, if you know who you want to give the money to, just give it to him. I ain't gonna read it too much. I know them girls was hot. They was probably like, it's $30,000 that could have went to us the next week, but I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on. And then in the beginning, we saw Mayhem vote for herself. I think I've already read Mayhem for voting for herself, so it's no need to do it again. Let's get on into the challenge. It's the Snatch Game of Love. From the workroom, when they start talking about their characters, Blair was telling Rue her Ellen and her jokes for Ellen. I knew Blair was in trouble from the workroom. From the workroom. India and Jeffree Star. Now, I know there's a huge controversy with Jeffree Star in the beauty community right now, and that this was taped a while ago. But I personally haven't been fucking with Jeffree Star from a while ago. He's always been controversial, not just right now. So, to me, that was kind of a bad pick from the beginning. I personally don't watch his videos. I don't know too much about him. All I know is that he ain't have no problem saying the N-word. And he was canceled for me a long time ago. As much as I love that Morphe setting spray. Oh. Like, all the beauty influencers are now like, I'm canceling my Morphe affiliate code. Like, and I hope you all do the same. I'm no longer going to be affiliated with Morphe. And I'm like, yeah, after you've already made all of your money off of Morphe. And I'm telling you, I love that setting spray. Oh. Every time I go into Ulta and I see that pink and orange Jeffree Star mess, I hit the corner. I don't support anything of his, and I love that brand, but they've been canceled for me for a while. Not just right now. Not just right now when all the eyes are on it. Like, miss me with that. Miss me with that. But this ain't nothing about that, India. I just felt like you made a bad choice, and I wasn't here for it from the beginning. I don't care if you did tape this 2 years ago. Anyway, when I first heard Shay was going to do Flavor Flav, I was like, no, ma'am, Shay. We all know she killed it, but I'm talking about from the workroom. My first reaction, I'm like, I couldn't see it Just kind of like last year with Gigi and that robot, I couldn't see it until I saw it. Moving on, and everybody was doing men. Like, I'm with Michelle. Like, this is Drag Race. Like, moving on, moving on. So, group one, Miss Cracker came out as Lady Gaga. I know last week in my video, I was like, Cracker is the comedian. She's the one, to watch this week. She's the one who's probably gonna win it. I was so wrong. I was so wrong. I just now this week remembered that Cracker didn't even do too good on her season of the Snatch Game. It could have been a redemption, but this Lady Gaga was awful. I said, number one, Lady Gaga in an evening gown is not funny. And somebody did Gaga before, and it was not funny. I don't think Gaga is someone who would be good at the Snatch Game because she's just not a funny person to me. She does outrageous stunts. She will dress you down. Very talented. I like Gaga, but I don't think she's funny. But anyway, from the intro, when she started telling Ru that joke about if there was 99 people in the audience and none of them like me, I only care about the one with $100,000, I said, womp womp, no ma'am. So now Alexis is, let me say it right, Walter Mercado. It was good. Alexis did good. It was funny. But I said it wasn't too hard in her group. Like, in Alexis's group, anybody could have been funny. You could have put Blair over there, and Blair probably would have won the challenge over in that group because the other two people were just that bad. But I never heard of Walter Mercado. I kind of, back in the day, kind of think I remember a psychic like that, but I wasn't into that psychic stuff, and I probably was a little kid, so it was a new character for me. Alexis did a good job. At one point, it became one note. Like, I bet you didn't see that coming. Oh, she didn't see that coming. I saw that coming. It turned into being a lot of that, but Alexis was throwing more shade and stuff in there too. Alexis did a good job. Like, I ain't gonna take nothing from her. India, like I said, her Jeffree Star was awful. I don't like the looks of Jeffree Star either. I didn't know he had all those tattoos on his face and neck. It just wasn't a good look. And then that pink jogging suit, like, is that what he wears? Okay. When Alexis's first, not Alexis, who was this? India's first joke was about body fluids. I said, Cracker, you safe. India is saving you right now because she is bombing big time. Like, nothing India said was funny. So let's move on. Because after watching the first group, I was getting upset. I'm like, oh my God, please don't let this be another season where the Snatch Game sucked. Because so now we get to the second group, and the first thing I want to say is the guy was Jeffrey Boyer Chapman. I love when he comes on the show. I think he's a great judge in whatever he does on the show. But that scene of him and Ru in the sexual chemistry, they did it again on the main stage. That's off-putting to me. Like, that's like, I'm making too many facials. Let me stop. That was very off-putting to me. It was like unnecessary. It wasn't sexy. It wasn't funny. Y'all could have kept that. But anyway, Blair. Blair looked like Ellen. Blair had Ellen's mannerisms. But where were the jokes? Where were the jokes, Blair? It just was not funny at all. Juju's Eartha Kitt was it. Juju, yes, she had the best Eartha Kitt I've ever seen on the show. Oh, I was in love. I was in love with that performance. Like, Juju, I could have just watched Juju and Shay all day. Shay is Flavor Flav. All I can say is yes, ma'am. Yes, Ma'am, sir, Flavor Flav, Shay. That was everything. Like, I watch it again because I watch it once for entertainment. I watch it a second time for notes. When I watched it the first time, I was kind of like, I don't know, I'm really feeling juju on this. But when I watched it the second time and I really saw what Shay was doing, that maybe Jeffrey and Rue couldn't see that she was doing, and then she was giving you the jokes even when it wasn't her turn, just like ad-libbing the jokes. Shay was killing it. I really did like Shay. Some of my favorite lines. Jeffrey. So, Juju, how you gonna keep me warm in these Canada winters? Oh, I'm going to sensually walk over to the thermostat. And then I'm going to turn the thermostat to a sensible 74 degrees. Juju, I was cracking up at group 2. Group 2 minus Blair. Like, Blair didn't even have to be there. Blair, you could have just Anyway, that was hilarious. Then Shay hit you with the roses are red, buses are yellow. I just realized this is a fella. Loved it. And then I think Blair gave some kind of joke where she was doing a penguin noise. Awful. Awful, Blair. And then Shay was like, looking at Juju, was like, yeah, this is white people. And Juju was like, back in my day, we would call this white noise. I said not white noise, Juju. It was it. Juju was giving it to him. Like, this, to me, this is a week where I would have been happy if it would have been a tie for the top 2. Juju was giving it. And then what did Shay say? Oh, and then Shay gonna end. It wasn't the end, but this was the last of my notes that I really liked. Shay gonna look at Juju, was like, I really like you. You remind me of my mama. She was bald-headed too. Juju and Shay could have easily, either one of them could have won this week, and I wouldn't have had a problem with it. This could have been a week where it was 2 people lip syncing for that $10,000 against Vanjie. Y'all know it was Vanjie, and excuse me, and all 3 of them could have been fighting it out, and I would have been happy with it because both of them were just so good. They were just so good. I ain't even deleted off of my DVR because I'm going to go back and just watch them do the Snatch game over and over again because it was that funny to me. I loved it. But moving on, let's get into the runway. Number 1, Rue, bitch. You turned it. Oh my God, Rue turned that runway out. Oh my God, that dress. That dress made up for all the ugly dresses you wore this whole season. Last season, too. That dress was everything. That white with just that, it looked like paint splatter, but in just the most beautiful colors. The royal blue, that kind of purplish pink, that soft little bit of splatter of that neon green. And then he had the neon green eyeshadow. I said, Raven, I hope you gave Raven a $10,000 tip. That face was beat. And that white hair and the blue earrings, just that whole look from top to bottom was everything. And then I know it had to have a million hula hoops in it. To the way you was just walking like you was coming off of Gone with the Wind. Just hooped out. I loved it. I loved it, Rue. Can't nobody say nothing about you this week. Anyway, the theme is prom fantasy. Let's go through these really quick because I ain't really like... everybody kind of went to the 80s. I ain't get it. Cracker, Michelle called her the proactive prom queen. Cracker was doing camp. She had pimples all over her face. It looked disgusting. I definitely... I didn't like it. And I understand it was camp. I understand the theme, but I didn't like the dress. I agree with the judges. That looked like something from Vegas, not a prom. People don't really wear feathers to prom. And I didn't like that bright pink. Moving on. Alexis, I said, red is your color. You looked beautiful in that color, but I was also not a fan of that poofy, loofah looking dress. But you were beautiful. It just got a ma'am, and Cracker got a no ma'am, if I ain't say. India, your face was beat and that hair was cute, but that wasn't a prom dress. You didn't meet the challenge, and it was an ugly dress at that. Like, it was doing way too much. Like, it was lace, but then you had the bell sleeves. Then you had a satin, like, cape skirt attached to the back of it that was not ironed. It was not pressed. It was wrinkled. And then you had a corset belt that had some elaborate, what is it called? Bedazzled, jeweled design. It looked cheap. And then you had on a humongous choker that looked cheap. It just was not a good look. It didn't read prom at all. It was definitely a no ma'am. Over to Blair. I said, Blair, this looked like what Gigi had on last season. Just a different color. And I hate your color. I hate that shade of red and blue. The dress was okay. I ain't too mad at it. But your hair and that makeup, it couldn't be touched this week, Blair. That was a yes, ma'am, for the hair and the makeup alone. Juju came out looking like every prom scene of my childhood, because I kind of was a little kid in the 80s. So as a little kid watching, you know, the teenagers go off to prom and you see all the movies, that's Juju reminded me of a perfect 1980s prom. I liked it. I wouldn't wear it, but I liked it. So she got a yes ma'am. And then Shay killed the runway. Like, that's probably why Shay won, because she killed the runway and the challenge. She got a capital yes ma'am. I love the dress. I love that her dress told a story of her, as she said, reclaiming the joke. Shay, you are not a joke. I agree with the judges. And I hate that people were coming to her events throwing rose petals or doing the rose petal bit, trying to throw her some shade. Miss me with that. But the dress was beautiful, even without the theme. Shay looked amazing, and I loved Shay's look for the week. Okay, let's get into this. So, Shay was the winner. I've already said that. I said it was well deserved. Juju was a very, very, very close second. Like I said, it could have been a tie. But now, Ru gonna hit us with a twist. Ru gonna say, if you're not the winner, you're in the bottom. And I said, I can already tell it's going to be some Shangela bullshit coming up. It's going to be some Shangela bullshit coming up, because nobody's safe. Nobody is safe. Now, we go into the back, and you know they deliberate. It really ain't no deliberations. All of you all in the bottom, you can only really talk to Shay. So, off top, Shay remembers, you know, well, you voted for me before Alexis, and just off of that alone, Shay could have voted for Alexis. But Alexis tells her again, look, I only voted for you because I didn't want to vote for Mariah, and India is my girl, and I knew you weren't going home, so that's why I voted for you. But she told Shay, don't come for me. Like, but if you want to come for me, we're going to know what type of girl you are. Like, you just going to come for me because you want to go home, and I don't deserve to go home. I love Alexis. I love Alexis. Alexis pleaded her case, but at the same time was like, bitch, don't try me though. Don't come for me. I love it. So now I believe Shay when she said she probably was gonna send India home. That's your fourth time being the bottom girl. But India was like, so Shay, you want to pull people to the side? And Shay was like, nah, I know what I'm going to do. Y'all can vote. Talk amongst yourselves. And India was like, I really want to speak to you. Can you talk to me to the side? And Shay was like, okay. So now India wants to tell Shay, you know, a few weeks ago, I just want you to know, because I don't want to leave here with this on my conscience. I just want you to know that Mayhem and Alexis came to me and asked me to vote for you to go home. And Shay was like, you mean these bitches was campaigning against me? And she was like, yes. And Shay was like, oh, okay. I don't do this. He say, she say mess. Come on over here. Let's bring it to the group. I love that about Shay. Shay brings it to the group. She tells the group what was up. Alexa was like, that's not true. I ain't do this shit. You're a liar. And so now Alexis Alexis is denying it, and I'm at a point to where I don't know who to believe, because my second time watching it, I wanted to focus more on the body language. The first time I watched it, I was just like, what? But the second time, I kind of want to focus on the body language. And both of these girls were believable. I'm just riding with Alexis because in my mind, Alexis went to the other girls like, I was not campaigning against you. She looked at Cracker and she looked at Juju. It was like, did I campaign to you all? And they were like, no, you didn't do no campaigning to me. And I agree. Like, I'm just following the common sense of it. I ain't putting it past Alexis. Let me say that. I love you, girl, but I ain't gonna put it past you or Mayhem. But it doesn't make sense for them to only ask India to vote for Shay. That would not have been enough votes. And if they didn't campaign to anyone else, because they would have spoke up, it just doesn't make sense. They would have at least had to have, I think, 4 votes. So, moving on. So, right now, I remember as they're voting, Alexis is like, I'm voting for you, and bitch, this is why Derek don't even like you. And so I'm thinking like, damn, do I need to go back and think about what Derek Barry was saying? But Derek, I ain't gonna go back that far. But that was funny. And then Juju comes up with I don't think Alexis is lying, because if she was lying, she would have been a better actor and she would have done better in the Snatch game. And I was like, there you go, Juju. I have an opinion. I'm gonna save it to the end. But Juju had me cracking up. And I'm like, Juju, girl, people can be bad actors but still be good liars, because when you lying, you playing yourself. I'm so happy I watched Untucked, because the whole time as I'm just watching everything, I'm like, I wonder how everybody voted. I wonder what's going on. It was some good India. You tried it, girl. You still went home, but you tried it. Okay, so over here now we get to the lip sync assassin, and it's Vanessa, Vanjie, Mateo. And Alexa was like, oh, it's my daughter, but I can't even be excited because what if she got my lipstick? And I'm going to get to Vanjie in Untucked. But Vanjie came on the stage, Ru was giving the rules, and she was like, hold up. So you telling me if I win this lip sync, I don't get the $10,000? And Ru was like, no, ma'am. I love Vanjie. I love anytime I get to see Vanjie on the TV. She is hilarious. But Lip Sync Assassin, I don't know. Like, I'm still waiting to see Brooklyn Heights. She's a lip sync assassin. Even Cameron, is it Cameron Michaels? Cameron is a lip sync assassin. Trinity the Tuck is a lip sync assassin. Trinity K. Bonet is a lip sync assassin. Hell, even Heidi from last season, I would have brought back as a lip sync assassin. And where my girl Kennedy Davenport. I wouldn't have brought back Morgan, and I wouldn't have brought back Vanjie. But moving on. It was a good battle, but Shay pulled it out. Shay won. What did Shay say? Because Shay's speech was everything. She said, at first I knew who I was going to pick. But then one of the bottom queens came up to me and told me a few weeks ago somebody was campaigning for me, so I don't know. But my vote goes to India. I was shocked because I knew she was going to say Shay. I knew she was going to say Alexis. After that speech, I just knew she was going to say Alexis But that speech just lets me know next week is going to be good. Next week is going to be good because Alexis, your days are numbered. I feel like no matter who wins next week, they probably going to vote for Alexis to go home if Alexis does not win. I hope you can sew, girl. India, as she's walking off the stage, gives some speech about all these H's, and the last H was honesty. And then she was like, just be honest. And then she goes up to Shay again and says, Shay, I wasn't lying. The whole time I'm thinking, what does Mayhem have to say? Is Mayhem on Twitter? I don't believe I follow Mayhem. If y'all follow Mayhem on Twitter, what is Mayhem tweeting? Is she co-signing or is she calling India a liar as well? I watched Untucked. I have some things to say after watching Untucked. The first thing is, India's walking through Untucked and she was like, oh, there's no bottom two, so there's hope for me. This one I'm gonna tell you what it is, because some people said it in Untucked and I believe it to be true. I feel Juju said it. True or false, this was an excellent time to bring it up, because Shay already feels some kind of way about Alexis. So if it's true or if it's false, India knew what she was doing. While India is talking about campaigning against Shay, India is campaigning right now against her good girlfriend, Alexis. Which I didn't like, because at the end of the day, even if what India is saying is true, if that's your good girlfriend, why throw her under the bus when this is your fourth time being in the bottom? That lets me know Alexis was never your good girlfriend. But we're going to get into that some more. Now, Vanjie gets a little bit of segment in Untucked. And I'm looking at Vanjie's makeup brushes and her makeup bag, and I'm like, Vanjie, your brushes are making my face itch. Wash those things, girl. Like, cake. What is Rihanna? Caked on makeup. Wash them brushes, girl. But the next thing Vanjie said is, if she see her mama lipstick name on the lipstick, she gonna throw it to the side and make something happen. So I'm like, Vanjie, are you gonna throw this lip sync? The whole time, I know I saw the votes. If you watch Untucked, you saw the votes. The whole time is how I'm thinking, how did everybody vote? I gotta know the votes. So now in Untucked, Blair brings up, if this is true and Alexis and Mayhem were campaigning against Shay, why did they not tell Mariah, who went home, to vote for Shay? Because I'm sure Mariah would have voted for Shay over herself, because really a vote for India was a vote for herself. Mariah would have voted for Shay to send Shay home, if that was the truth, because all they needed was India and they needed Mariah. Is Mariah tweeting? I really want to know. And where's the footage? Because Shay brought that up in Untucked too. Where is the footage? If this happened, everything they do is on camera. If Alexis whispered to India, did you vote how I told you to vote? There would be footage, even if we don't know what they're saying, of Alexis doing the whisper. And if they anything like any other reality show, they show the receipts. So I'm going to take it that since I don't see the receipts, it didn't happen. But I'm with Blair, like, I just can't believe it to be true, because they needed more than India's votes. And Mayhem and Mariah are good girlfriends. I know Mayhem would have been like, we voting for Shay, we got the votes for Shay. You vote for Shay and you stay. Anyway, now they show a clip of Alexis helping India. She was like, girl, let me help you with this snatch game. I don't want you to be in the bottom. And I'm like, Alexis is being a really good girlfriend. And I'm going to tell you like this, even if it is true, it just really sucks to see. I need some water. It really sucks to see Alexis being a good friend to India. And India, the girl who is the fourth time in the bottom and who should have really not have won week one. Alexis could have won that easy over India, to me. For all of this to be transpiring and you are so selfish that you're willing to throw your good girlfriend under the bus. True or false? I don't know if it's true or not. But moving on from that. They bring up some other behind the scenes footages of Alexis telling Cracker that Mayhem and Blair were campaigning to get Cracker out. And Blair's like, that's a lie. So I'm like, is Mayhem behind all of this? Because Mayhem seems to be, what is that? The key factor in each one of these scenarios. And we all know Mayhem could have easily went home week one too. To me. I don't know. Somebody tell me if Mayhem and Mariah are tweeting. India clearly says she doesn't care if her talking about Alexis putting this tea on the table hurts her friendship. And like I said, and I'm happy Alexis was like, this is why Derek don't even like you. Because to me, that's not the characteristics of a good friendship. To me, if my good girlfriend did something foul and it's obviously my time to go home, I wouldn't throw my good girlfriend under the bus. I wouldn't be like, fuck the friendship, I want to stay. No. Let's see. Finally, we get the votes. Everyone did vote for India. So, I'm happy to see nobody fell for it. But like I said, if Alexis doesn't win next week, Alexis is going home. I truly believe that. And also, is next week the week... It didn't show it in the previews, but usually once they get down to the bottom 5, the first 5 who got kicked out get to come back for redemption, and one of them gets put back in, and one of the top 5s get put out. I hope that happens next week. I don't know. We'll see. And then finally, Michelle comes in, and Michelle just want to be messy. And she asking India, well, what happened on the stage? And, you know, India told her everything, whatever. And at the end, she gets to see her fiance. And I was like, oh, he's cute. And I just really liked, all this drama aside, true or untrue, I don't know. I'm still on the fence. I'm at the point now where I just don't care. You shouldn't have did that to Alexis, true or untrue. I like getting to know India again because like I said, if you watched any of my previous videos, especially when we were introducing the queens, I didn't remember who India was. And the only thing I do remember from India is the unfortunate situation of Mimi picking her up and twirling her around in that lip sync. And so I'm really happy that India got to be on All Stars. I got to get to know her again. I don't think she is a bad queen. I just think everyone else is just so much better. I hope that ain't come off too shady, but it is what it is. Bye, girl. You tried it. You tried. You can't blame nobody for trying. But anyway, that's all I have to give. I know this is about 10 to 15 minutes longer than I normally talk, but this was a good episode and I had a lot to say. Get in the comments. Let me know what you all think because I know you all got a lot to say too. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you all next week. See if Alexis goes home. Bye.